TechTimeRadio.com.
Hey, Mike, guess what?
What?
Mike, raging rivers, hungry bears, drastic avalanches, roaring seas. No matter how prepared you are, a walk in the woods can go from innocent to disaster in the blink of an eye.
Yeah.
When pushed to their breaking point, humans are capable of astonishing things that you would never thought of possible.
Yeah.
Listen to In the Wild as they explore the most heroic, terrifying, and phenomenal stories of real people who survived the unsurvivable. Learn what went wrong, what went right, and how you can make it out alive if the worst case ever happened to you. In the Wild podcast reviews on Apple include Love Your Podcast from Laura. It's scary how relentless nature can be. I always enjoy this podcast at work. It keeps me on the edge of my seat. Or how about we go with Hiker 0001? Good stories and good narration. I like when there are sound effects that add to the ambience of the story. In the Wild podcast on Apple Podcasts and everywhere you get your podcast downloads.
Broadcasting across the nation from the East Coast to the West, keeping you up to date on technology while enjoying a little whiskey on the side, with leading edge topics, along with special guests, to navigate technology in a segmented, stylized radio program. The information that will make you go, Pull up a seat. Raise a glass with our hosts as we spend the next hour talking about technology for the common person. Welcome to Tech Time Radio with Nathan Mumm.
Welcome to Tech Time with Nathan Mumm, the show that makes you go, technology news of the week. The show for the everyday person talking about technology, broadcasting across the nation with insightful information and segments on subjects weeks ahead of the mainstream media. We welcome our radio audience of 35 million listeners to an hour of insightful technology news. Each week, our show covers the weekly top technology subjects without any political agenda. We verify the facts, and we do it with a sense of humor in less than 60 minutes. And of course, with a little whiskey on the side. I'm Nathan Mumm. Welcome to our show today. We live stream during our show on 5 of the most popular platforms, including YouTube, Twitch.tv, Twitter, Facebook, and LinkedIn. We encourage you to watch us live or visit us online at techtimeradio.com. Now you can become a Patreon supporter at patreon.com/techtimeradio and listen to the show with special features and help support the show. You can also tweet us during the show at #TechTimeRadio, and we'll do our best to respond to your tweet on the air. If you enjoy the show and you want to have some conversation offline, you can always join our Facebook group, Tech Timers. And if you're listening to it on a podcast service, make sure you give us that 5-star review to help us increase our ratings. I'm your host, a technologist with 30 years of technology expertise, working for Fortune 500 companies across the country. And my co-host here, Mike Corday, is an award-winning author, originally from Arizona. Mike's a human behavior expert living in the Seattle area with a master's degree in forensic psychology. Mike is here to keep me from geeking out while providing insight into human behavior and how it interacts with technology. We're two friends from different backgrounds, but bring the best technology show possible every week for our family, friends, and fans to enjoy. Welcome, everyone, to the show. Are you ready, Mr. Gorday?
Sure.
This is our Irish-based episode. This week and next week, we're going to be sampling some Irish whiskey, and I know we did a little pre-tasting, and this is...
You did pre-taste. You always pre-taste.
I
never
pre-taste.
pre-taste.
This is pretty good.
I always wait until the taste.
All right, well, let's now officially start today's show.
Now on today's show.
Today on Tech Time with Nathan Mumm, did Elon Musk just apologize to the world? We have our guest, Roger Clappe, who joins us show to explain the new ideas for the motor industry with his creative company, WhipFlip. We're going to be talking about that. Next, we're also going to explore and we can learn more about ChatGPT from our producer, Gwen Way. Boy, she's got some stuff about ChatGPT.
Yay.
I'm pretty excited.
Yay.
All right. Then, is Apple in turmoil, and why are electric scooters and bikes blowing up nationwide? We're not talking about sales. We're talking about physically batteries blowing up that we're going to be talking about. And you're in luck. We have all the answers to this, plus comments on the stories and more. Now, the only way you're going to hear any Silicon Valley Bank talk is if we have enough time to listen to the Nathan Nugget. All right. Okay. So there you go. All right. In addition, we have our standard features, including Mike's mesmerizing moment, This Week in Technology, and a possible nugget as we just talked about. As always, we have our pick of the day whiskey tasting during the commercials. to see if our selected whiskey pick of the day gets 0, 1, or 2 thumbs up at the end of the show. So sit back, raise a glass, and welcome to Tech Time with Nathan Mumm. Now it's time for the latest headlines in the world of technology.
Here are our top technology stories of the week.
All right. As Apple's shine doling with veteran staffers, the tech giant has lost 11 high-ranking executives since the second half of 2022. We're going to go right now and have some audio specifically about what's happening to Apple.
Some of the key employees are leaving Apple. You would be surprised to know that over the last few months, Apple has lost about a dozen high-ranking executives. Most of the outgoing executives carried the ranks of vice presidents and were just below the senior vice president rank that reports to Apple CEO Tim Cook. Why are all these key people leaving Apple? The reasons are many. The most important seems to be money. Apple's stock fell nearly 30% last year after 3 years of major gains. In the case of an Apple vice president, stock can be well over half of the pay.
All right. The departures include vice presidents overseeing such fields as industry design, the online store, information systems, Apple's cloud's efforts, hardware, software engineering, privacy matters, sales and emerging markets, subscription services, and procurement.
So pretty much everywhere.
And yeah. So this is a huge deal. It's a high amount of turnover, and it's the most that you've seen at a large company ever like Apple, and it's specifically within a 6-month area. In the past year, Apple may have lost one of 2 VPs during a 12-month window before. Same happens to like Ford Motor Company and other companies, but to lose more than 2 is considered industry scarcity, and to lose all the way up to 11 is the highest amount of senior ranking officials. Now, what it probably boils down to is Apple has restructured itself, and instead of functioning independently in a siloed area that essentially comes up, they decided to specialize in hardware engineering and other areas as an organizational functioning group. So that means the whole organization of Apple Watch. Apple Watch's marketing, Apple Watch's advertising, Apple Watch's production queue, Apple Watch's...
So they're all doing group projects now?
So the whole Apple Watch group has all of those people that are a part of the group. And then if you go to the iPhone, they have their own marketing department, their own engineering department, their own procurement department. So what happens is a lot of these people still are very busy in what they're doing, but they say the turmoil is that you have one marketing group that wants to spend money on X, Y, and Z and really say Apple's good at this, and another marketing company that may be completely opposite the ideas of what they're trying to portray as one company's subset to another.
We're going to see another downturn in Apple, and they're going to, try and get Steve Jobs back?
Well, I don't. Steve Jobs worked no longer here on the planet, so that's gonna be pretty tough to get Steve Jobs back. So unless they bring his corpse back like Walt Disney, I think we're okay with there.
But it's a hologram of him.
Okay, but Apple stock fell 30%, and really, what's happening is these people are cashing out their stock, and it's not worth it hanging around. The potential for the stock to grow in the next year or two, when these people are looking at staying or looking into retirement and moving to a different company, is no longer valuable for them. And they're just saying, forget it. We'll cash out, take the losses of the stock we have now and move to a competitive company. So that's what's happening. This is kind of a big deal for Apple. This could really cause some lingering effects. I think they really probably from the top down need to figure out if they decide to not have siloed groups with every tool set.
I don't know.
And maybe combine
maybe they should not offer high up execs that much money and solve that problem.
Solve that problem automatically?
Yeah, just everybody should do that.
Apple does say that they are very excited because they are going to probably hire from within, so that allows promotion to happen within the company itself. And that's the best way for a company. You hire within, you don't pay the person as much as they would have been worth on the open market. You give them 20% increases, and you say, hey, we're going to give you this
Why
new
do you
job.
think they eliminate folks that... Never mind.
All right, here you go. Story number 2. This is your buddy here. Or it's kind of my buddy too.
You like talking about him more than
I do. All right, what do we got?
Well, you know that Twitter went through this whole thing where they just locked out a bunch of employees a couple of weeks ago.
Yep.
And this is just one of those stories that is just really interesting because an employee called out Elon Musk.
Yep.
on Twitter
Yep.
about whether or not he was fired.
Still employed.
Still employed.
Yep.
So I don't know if you know about that. His name was it's
How do you pronounce this one?
I don't know. Haralder
Torleifenson?
Thornleifson.
Okay.
That
sounds good.
That's about the best I'm going to be able to do. He goes by Hallie.
Okay.
So we're going to call him Hallie.
All right.
Logged into his computer when this happened.
Yep.
And found himself locked out along with 200 other people.
Okay.
So he might have figured at other forum that this is kind of that people have come to expect since Elon has taken over, that he was out of a job. But instead, after 9 days of no answer from the folks within Twitter,
the HR department or people
right
inside of Twitter,
he gets on Twitter and decides to tweet Musk directly to see if he could catch the attention of
Elon.
Said billionaire.
Okay. His boss.
Yes.
Okay.
And the tweet was, maybe if enough people retweet, you'll answer me here.
Okay.
And we all know that Elon kind of does this stuff. So he answers them back, and they get into this very surreal conversation
argument, right?
On Twitter.
Yep.
About
a disability.
Well, they're about his disability because he has muscular dystrophy.
Yep.
They're talking about his job, what duties he performed. So they're having this basic conversation. This guy is having a conversation with Elon on Twitter about all this stuff.
And Elon's thrashing him at first.
And Elon's taking him to task about all this stuff. And,
Yep.
Anyway.
So then what happens?
Well, the other day he issues an apology.
Okay.
He says, this is Elon.
Yep.
I would like to apologize to Hallie for my misunderstanding of the situation. It was based on things I was told that were untrue or in some cases true but not meaningful. He is considering remaining at Twitter. Thorleifson did not immediately respond to that message or comment following Musk's tweet. In an earlier email, he called the experience surreal. So I guess he said that you had every right to lay me off, but it would have been nice to let me know.
Okay, that makes sense.
Thorleifson, who lives in Iceland, has about 151,000 Twitter followers, where Musk has over 130 million. He joined Twitter in 2021 when the company that he worked at under the prior management acquired his startup.
Okay. So he's like working at a company.
He had a company that he was building up, and Twitter bought him out.
Okay. And
like some of these guys, they just basically hired them to do the same amount of work, same stuff that they were doing prior.
Yep.
So he was lauded in the Icelandic media for choosing to receive the purchase price in wages rather than a lump sum payout, because that way he would have to pay higher taxes to Iceland in support of its social service and safety net. So he opted to help out Icelanders with this payout. At any rate, Thorleifson's next move, if you're interested, is he's opening up a restaurant in downtown Reykjavik very soon, which will be named after his mother.
All right, there you go. Okay, that's so. So you apologize,
but this is just one of those. We've come to normalize things that are just so odd. Right. Yep. So we had a whole
HR PR event happen.
We have this whole event happening in front stage Twitter.
That's kind of interesting, isn't it?
It's bizarre.
Okay. All right, here we go. Story number 3. What's driving the battery fires with e-bikes and scooters?
Yeah, let's talk about exploding scooters.
Let's go to our New York correspondent now.
You see them everywhere, people on e-bikes and scooters, but there's a potential danger. Sometimes the batteries can explode, turning those vehicles into fireballs.
Electric scooters and electric bikes bursting into flames. This guy is lucky to be alive. He hops off his electric bicycle just as the battery suddenly catches fire.
It was probably the scariest thing I've ever gone through.
Daniel and Linda Jones of Pittsburgh, California lost everything when they say their electric scooter burst into flames.
Safety experts say it is critical to always follow the manufacturer's instructions for charging and storing your e-bike or scooter battery.
Okay,
See,
so New York firefighters battled a 5-alarm fire at a supermarket earlier this month. New York City officials gathered beside what they said and could see with video evidence was cause of the fire by a sit-on electric scooter's battery bursting into flames.
This is like a rascal.
Officials said the fatal lithium-ion battery in the scooter had suddenly burst into flames. It was captured on video. The results of the fire were so intense, they said, that enveloped the building in a matter of minutes. Now, have you ever seen the TV show BattleBots? I watch it all the time. I love BattleBots.
This is the first thing you brought up when we talked about this story.
Okay, so
it's like BattleBots.
So anytime you see a battle happen in the BattleBots arena, and I think it's on Fox or something, I tape it. They literally are now at a Las Vegas casino, and they have this fighting every Friday night. You can buy tickets to them. Whenever a robot gets destroyed, they attack the lithium batteries. And when that sucker goes, smoke goes all over everywhere. It literally catches on fire. Those suckers explode. They're like essentially mini bombs. Now what's happening, though, is the popular micro mobility devices are being sold all across Amazon. Sales are soaring across the United States for us to hop on one of these scooters without properly UL testing these, without properly testing the batteries. And essentially what we're getting an influx of high-density batteries created with lithium with no testing, no checking of the batteries into these motorized vehicles that everybody's just driving around, sitting around, comes home, plugs it into their charging unit. They think that since they got it off of Amazon or since they got it off of someplace reputable in the United States, that everything's been tested on it. And essentially, these defective contaminations in the manufacturing process are being short-circuited, are still being deployed into the market itself because the need is such greatness of these batteries are out there, and they can continue to make money on the items themselves. So essentially, we are creating many bomb-making devices in our e-bike batteries that are being out there. Now, some experts say that you should always check to make sure that your seller is UL certified, which you can just get a UL sticker and put it on and not really be UL certified. And always make sure you do not see rewrapped batteries, meaning the counterfeit batteries may have been added to replicate seasonal.
Are these private? Are these private purchases, or is this like, around here we've got these?
So private purchase. So I go to Amazon.
They got these electric scooters.
Have you seen the one with the one wheel?
Bikes,
there's like this one wheel that you jump on. So
Yeah.
there's a name brand for the one wheel. I think it's actually called One Wheel. And then there's 5 or 6 that are knockoff, Chinese knockoff, Korean, Japanese knockoffs that they build these. And those look just like the one wheel, half the price of the one wheel. Says it has the same exact have lower regulated batteries. Nothing in there is standardized or tested.
So this is not the, hey, I'm going to go downtown and jump on one of these electric scooters.
No, because those actually get purchased and have to follow through proper UL testing, and they have to go through government testing itself within the cities. But these bikes are everywhere because you can buy this for $129. Amazon has 5 different e-bikes I can buy right now.
Yeah, the next time
you need to start a fire and you need to do that fake insurance claim, all you got to do is buy yourself an e-bike.
Oh, is that
charge it underneath there, and boom, there you go.
You just ratted out everybody. So
all right. Do not buy counterfeit batteries. That's the moral of the story.
Is that the moral?
That is really because all these e-bikes, none of the name brand e-bikes are the ones that are exploding. All these ones are exploding.
Buyer beware. Get what you pay for. There's all. Unfortunately, this is one of the problems with this type of stuff.
Yep.
But it happens everywhere. It does. Can't get a Gucci bag, so I'm going to get a Goosey bag.
Or a knockoff bag.
I'm going to get a knockoff.
I can't get a Rolex. I'm going to get a Rolex.
Right. And this is unfortunately one of the bad side effects of these things when we talk about
lithium batteries are something we shouldn't be manufacturing incorrectly.
Yeah. Right.
All right. Well, that ends our top stories of the week. Moving on, we have Gwen Way on the Comcast internet streaming line ready to talk about our gadgets and gears after this, but we're going to take a commercial break. We'll be right back. Thank you for listening to our commercials.
Hey, Mike, I'm looking for some help writing our blog post for TechTime Radio.
Well, you should try Phosphor AI. It's an online service that will save you hours of work with your content creation. Simply type in your title, and their AI software will get to work writing a high-quality original article for you. You'll need to review the article and take 15 to 20 minutes to make necessary edits before publishing, but you'll get free articles just for signing up, so you can try out the service and see how it works for you.
How many articles do I get free?
I already said you get 3 free articles. You should listen when I'm talking to you. Phosphor AI pricing is very reasonable for the quality of content that you'll get.
Why waste time writing the content yourself when you get Phosphor AI to do it for you? Visit them online today at Phosphor AI. Again, that's PHOSPHORAI.com.
All right. Well, welcome back to Tech Time with Nathan Mumm. Tech Time is a weekly technology show that talks about current technology in a simple format without having to geek out. Brought to you by myself, Nathan Mumm, and Mike Day. We just had our first whiskey tasting during the break. Now let me tell you about what we are sipping for our pick of the day. During the show today, we have chosen the Kilbrin Irish Whiskey, 90 proof, $21.99. According to Kilbrin's website, Kilbrin brings you the finest quality liquid gold from the Emerald Isle. Kilbrin Irish Whiskey is made from the blending rich malt whiskey produced from malted barley with the finest grains whiskey has available in Ireland. Wonderful layers of spice, fruit, and grain with the finish of a fruit light to medium body taste.
Mm-hmm.
And what do you think so far, Mr. Gourdet?
It's good.
I like it. Odie, you're liking it too. Oh wow, we may have a 3 thumbs up. We better be careful. Look at where the bottle's at. Let's make sure we don't go through too much. All right,
flavorful.
All right, with our first whiskey taste and completed, now let's move on to the show to our next segment. Today it is our gadgets and gear with our producer and cyber specialist Gwen Way.
What's new in our gadgets and gear?
All right, Gwen. How we doing? Glad to see you on the show.
We are doing well, and I have to say you're drinking one of my favorite whiskeys today, so I only regret that I'm not there to enjoy it with you.
Oh, this is good stuff.
Nathan has drunk significantly more than me already.
Does that surprise anyone?
Yeah, I'm worried about making sure I still need to make sure I don't drink too much so I can drive home. All right, so Gwen, well, welcome. Now tell us what's going on. So you work for a cybersecurity company. We talked about that last week on the show. You had a big announcement regarding your cybersecurity.
Sure did.
What are, just really quick here, not Nick Espinoza like, where it takes us 45 minutes, but
just back on Nick.
Not really. But tell us, what are the current issues that you're working on this week right now?
There are quite a few after our announcement of our new platform last month. Of course, everybody, all the bad actors had to get in there and try and test us out. We've been able to fight off all of the attacks, so that's good news. But we are definitely keeping an eye. There are a couple of newer gangs that are out there testing out new and different ways to send ransomware out into the universe. So everybody be careful.
Okay, all right. So it's just what she's saying right now. We just got hacked right there. She said, "Everybody, be careful."
Exactly.
That's exactly. All right, Gwen. What is our gadget of the month?
Okay, this is a fun one, and it's not exactly a gadget, but we've been talking a lot on the show for the last, I'd say, 3 to 4 months about ChatGPT and the great things that it can be used for.
Yep, love it.
So I went out and I found something that I think is going to interest our listeners very much, which is a way to build your own version of ChatGPT.
What? You can build your own version?
You can code your own version. You can start, if you've done coding before, if you've never coded a lick of anything, not even a hello world. But yeah, if you go to Kickstarter right now and search learn to build a ChatGPT clone, you can actually get into a great program where you can learn how to do this on your own.
All right, so I could call it ChatGPT Nathan Mumm.
No.
That would
no.
Mumm AI.
You were talking about bad actors earlier.
I mean, they're everywhere.
Okay, so tell us, how do I find out about this? Where do I go? How many people are backing it? Let me find out so I can get this classes.
All the good stuff. Yeah. So go to Kickstarter.com, just like normal, and just search in Chat GPT, and this is the first thing that pops up.
Perfect.
It is from a educator who has been instructing people through his own company, Mammoth Interactive, based out of Vancouver, BC, and also on Udemy, which is a fairly common and
Technical.
well-respected
Yeah, I think it's
place
probably
to
second
learn.
right behind LinkedIn Learning, I'd say, in my book that I judge it by. Okay.
I would agree. I would agree. And for approximately $70 US, like I said, the company is based out of Canada, so it's a
Okay.
little wonky every once in a while. But for about $70 US, you can join the 210 other backers of this Chat GPT clone program and learn how to make it on your own.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So I was pretty excited about this last
No.
night at the
Yeah,
production
no,
meeting.
no.
And I actually did a little bit of work on this.
Of
So they already
course.
have some courses that are already done. And
Yep.
then they're getting other experts to complete and finish the courses. So this is Mammoth. Again, Mammoth is the company that does this training. They have been around for, I believe, 17 years. How many Kickstarter projects have they done that have been successfully funded?
They've had 33.
33.
So, yeah.
So this is not a new person on Kickstarter. It's somebody that's
Nope.
been there. He specializes in training. And now today you can sign on up and be a part of the 200 plus people that are going to get training on ChatGPT to create their own AI bot out there for people to use.
And maybe you can
Joy.
sell it to Amazon and make theirs better.
Oh, this is fantastic.
Oh no.
This is fantastic. I wonder if I can figure out a way to,
This
where
is not a good thing
all right.
for
Okay.
Nathan.
This will be great. All right. Well, thank you very much again. Kickstarter. You type in ChatGPT, it comes on up, and it's about $70. Gwen, always great to have you on the show. We will see you next Monday at our production meeting.
Sounds
Bye,
good.
Gwen.
Bye.
Thank you, Gwen. All right, that ends our segment, Gadgets and Gear. Up next, we have a special guest, the founder, Roger Clappe of WhipFlip, the best way to sell your car, period. We have This Week in Technology coming up also, so everybody enjoy this commercial break while we sip a little whiskey. We'll see you in a few minutes.
This is Mark
and Greg
for Copiers Northwest
with a terrific offer
called Printer Care Plus.
It's simple. Buy HP printer cartridges from Copiers Northwest and we'll service your current printers for free.
That sounds too good to be true.
It's made possible due to our HP Copiers Northwest relationship.
Copiers Northwest is an HP Platinum partner,
one of only 2 in the entire Northwest.
And now with Printer Care Plus,
Copiers Northwest will provide free printer service
as long as they purchase genuine HP cartridges from Copiers Northwest.
That's right. IT departments no longer have to service printers
or fix paper jams with Printer Care Plus.
They can focus on more strategic initiatives
and let our experienced technicians keep their HP printers up and running.
Sounds like a love-love relationship for IT departments.
Don't get too carried away. So how do they get more details on Printer Care Plus?
Call Copiers Northwest today, 206-282-1200, or visit copiersnw.com.
Copiers Northwest. New ideas, new solutions.
And now, let's look back at this week in technology.
All right, we're going all the way back to March 12th, 2008. The video streaming service Hulu is launched to the public. Hulu was initially established as a joint venture between News Corporation and NBC Universal. Then Providence Equity Partners took over it, and later, the Disney company now owns Hulu. Hulu has since become a focal point for the ongoing development of streaming TV, along with the agonizing by TV network and movie studios. It also revealed during its first initial launch, Alec Baldwin to be an alien, which did not surprise anybody. All right,
Yeah, so I don't remember the commercials.
you don't remember the commercials? Yeah, like his body. He came out of a body, and there was an alien in there.
No, I
and-
don't remember those.
Oh, they were pretty. They were
But
pretty
that,
good.
That was about the time that I was heavily not paying attention to TV.
Do you know Hulu also has a premiere service? Do you know what it's called?
Hulu Plus.
That's right. Hulu Plus is correct, and you can pay for less commercials during your Hulu.
Yeah, less commercials. That's awesome. I want to
Commercials.
play. Can you pay for no commercials?
I don't know. You know,
Hulu Plus.
You know what? I do still like Amazon because on Amazon streaming service you can still watch stuff. I just got done with the series called The Consultant. You need to watch the TV show The Consultant. Unbelievable, twisty little sci-fi type of deal. Okay, that was this
has
week.
Nothing to do with Hulu.
Okay, that was this week in
Hulu
technology.
does have some of my favorite shows on it, but
what's your favorite show on Hulu?
I like Family Guy.
Okay, yeah, I can see you liking Family Guy. That makes sense. All right, that was this week in technology. If you ever wanted to watch some Tech Time history with over 2 years of video, podcast, blog information, you can visit techtimeradio.com to watch our older shows or join the Tech Timers Facebook group to talk with us all the time live. You can hear all of our crazy ideas and crazy comments on technology. We're going to take a commercial break. When we turn, we have our Mark's Mumble Whiskey Review, our technology fail, and our special guest will be joining us. We'll see you after the break.
Hello, my name is Arthur, and my life's work is connecting people with coffee. Story Coffee is a small batch specialty coffee company that uses technology to connect people to each product resource, which allows farmers to unlock their economic freedom. Try our Medium Roast Founder Series coffee, which is an exotic bourbon variety that is smooth, fresh, and elegant at storycoffee.com. That's STORI coffee.com. Today you can get your first bag free when you subscribe at storycoffee.com with code TechTime. That's STORI coffee.com.
The segment we've been waiting all week for. Mark's Whiskey Mumble.
There we go.
Hey, what is Mark going to be saying about our whiskey?
Well, we got to talk about what day it is.
Okay, what is today?
Well, you like pie?
I do like pie.
Yeah, what's your favorite?
Pumpkin pie.
Okay, well, this has nothing to do with that pie.
Oh.
It's PI Day.
Oh, 3.14.
Yes.
Okay, I remember that math.
3.14.
That's the circumference of a circle.
That is...
Isn't that a circumference of a circle?
It's a ratio of the circumference
Oh,
of
it's a ratio of the circumference of the circle. Okay, all right. Okay, there you go.
So pi is a constant value used in mathematics that represents the ratio of the circumference of a circle.
Okay.
It has no ending, right? It just keeps going on and on forever.
Okay.
So that's National Pie Day.
Okay.
It's not only that.
Oh, is it another day too?
But it is.
Is it
also,
a double? Is Mark doing a double-decker day?
I don't know, maybe.
Okay. All right.
It's also Albert Einstein's birthday. So that kind of fits together.
Okay.
I don't know how well, because,
Are they both mathematicians though?
Albert Einstein was a different sort of mathematician, but
Correct.
He probably knew what pi was.
I would expect so.
So, altogether, it's nothing short of a mathematician's delight. All right, on to Kilbrins.
Okay.
So, Mark writes, Irish whiskey originated in the monasteries of Ireland in the Middle Ages. The monks who first distilled the spirit regarded it as a medicine, earnestly naming it the water of life, or Ishkabatha. Ishkabaha.
Okay.
In the native tongue of the Emerald Isles. Liquid gold created in the Irish monastery gave birth to time-honored traditions of Irish hospitality, and now a global spirit symbolic of its birthplace for medicinal purposes only.
Oh, this was medicinal purposes?
Yeah.
Okay, I like that.
Celebrate St. Patrick's Day coming up. Nathan selected Kilburn. This is a blended Irish whiskey, not single malt, which claims to have strong roots in Irish whiskey tradition, though the brand was established in just 2017. Kilburn Irish whiskey is only sold at Total Wines and More stores as part of their Spirits Direct program. Apologies to those Irish whiskey fans out there.
Oh,
so I don't know that I don't know if he's actually slamming the whiskey or that you can only get it through wine and more.
I hope he's not slamming the whiskey. Would you be a little upset if he was slamming this whiskey?
No. We all have our tastes.
Okay.
I mean, he likes stuff that I don't like. And
okay. What do you think of this though?
I like this stuff.
You like this stuff?
This is really smooth. It's got a very good flavor. There's
$21.99.
Well, there you go.
There you go. 21.90 proof.
It hits all of your
criteria.
Your cheap whiskey criteria. It's cheap. It's got a cork
There you go. It does too, doesn't it? All right. Well, Mark, thanks for that mumble. Now, as we move on, and thanks, Mike, for reading that. As we move on, we have a special guest today. We got Roger Clappe. Roger is a 15-year senior leader in the automotive industry with deep expertise in automotive e-commerce, retail, wholesale, and emerging technology. WhipFlip's technology conducts a real-time guide vehicle inspection to deliver an industry-leading offer for most vehicles that customers can then accept and instantly sell with only a few minutes worth of effort. Let's bring up the Comcast streaming line for our segment, Technology Insider.
Welcome to Technology Insider. We get the information directly from the source.
All right, we're so excited to have Roger on the show. Roger, thank you so much for joining us. Where are you joining us from?
Wilmington, Delaware. How's everyone doing?
Oh, Delaware. Okay,
oh, wow.
So he's a little bit of a time difference there. So we thank you for joining us a little later.
Yep.
Hopefully you're celebrating and enjoying maybe some whiskey or something else available too. So welcome to the show. Tell us a little bit. We had a nice talk a few months ago regarding WhipFlip. Can you explain to everyone on the show what your business model is and how this works?
Yeah, so WhipFlip really is here to end, the time waste, the pain, the friction that 42 million consumers each year face trying to sell one of the most expensive and difficult assets that they own, which is a car, right? And so we've created technology, AI technology, that, in 3 steps, less than 5 minutes, only using a smartphone right from your driveway, you can sell your car as fast and as easy as ordering a pizza. And we stand behind that claim. And so we're kind of democratizing the car selling process. And our model is relatively simple. We have nothing to sell the consumer. We're just an acquirer. We also acquire from dealers, fleet companies, and we distribute back within the industry.
Okay, so that's so it's interesting. So you take your phone. So a little bit to kind of explain this a little bit more on this is you take your phone, you kind of walk around your car. Is that kind of what you do there, Roger? You walk around your car. Yeah. You then come up with the price, and then your company comes up and says, hey, we think the car's value is worth X, and then you offer that to the consumer. Is that correct?
It's instant, yes. I mean, we like I said, we're built on proprietary AI technology that literally can conduct the inspection of a vehicle within a couple of minutes and arrive at what you really came for, which is what is my car truly worth in the exact condition it's in, versus traveling to dealers, versus going to other places that might be a suitor for your car. People coming to your driveway, stranger danger, all those things that exist for decades, right? Because cars are still being sold primarily the same way today as they were since the Ford Model T was produced. So we're changing that. We're completely disrupting it, and we're giving the consumers control of the experience at a more than fair market value for practically any vehicle that they have to sell.
Perfect. Now, let me ask you a question. Do you have to take a picture of the dashboard? Let's say I have a warning light on my car aspect, and I go around and I take a picture of the outside car. Are you actually taking the inside specs to make sure there's no errors with the computer or any of those additional items in there, or is it just kind of really the outside?
Part of it. Okay. Yeah, that's all part of it. It's really, primarily on the outside. And the reason why is there's a lot of subjectivity, and consumers are not car value appraisal experts. I think they all each have a different idea of what poor condition is, good condition, and excellent condition is. And I think also there's a lot of mistrust in who's telling you based on their own bias or their own eyes, in a way, what the condition of your vehicle is. And we've completely eliminated it because it's our technology is able to create an unbiased, very lasered in approach to identify the exact condition of your vehicle.
All right. So how does this work then on the back end? So you identify the vehicle, you say, hey, Nathan, your car's worth $1,000, or we'll just use that as an example.
Well, your car is worth $1,000.
Oh, so my car is worth $1,000. There you go. So it's worth $1,000. Now, your job is to kind of bring that in, and then you actually work with the other car dealerships to kind of wholesale that back, right? So explain to me how the back end process works also.
Yeah. So this is where we always say a lot of the magic happens is after the acquisition. We have a nationwide network with plenty of dealer partners, fleet acquirers, you name it, that always have an appetite for a very specific type of car. The challenge with it is that every dealership has a very specific taste for what they believe sells well, what fits their lot. So we also leverage our technology to help maneuver these vehicles into the best audience to buy them. But primarily we are selling a good chunk of our vehicles dealer direct. We do leverage some of the largest auction houses in the country as well to create a bigger audience for other vehicles that might not go direct to dealer. And what we're trying to really create is this ecosystem of exchange, right? Ecosystem of exchange with not just consumers, but dealers and fleets to come through and sell us vehicles, but also supplying the others with what they need.
All right, so give us a.
Well, I have a
you got a question?
Yeah, because I'm trying to follow this.
Sure.
As you know, I was in car sales for a while. Is this an instant buy? So if I'm going to sell my car, like I'm having some car trouble today, it's going into the shop, and I say, hey, I don't want to deal with this anymore. So I use this. Do you buy that from me, and then you take it and sell it to a dealership, or do you put it on a sort of consignment so that I don't get paid until the dealership sells it or buys it?
Nope. We are the instant acquirer. Like I said, instant, frictionless.
Okay.
At driveway transaction. WhipFlip is the buyer for every single vehicle. I think there's a lot of ways. The great thing about this industry is that there's a lot of ways that folks are exchanging vehicles, whether it be a marketplace, whether it be consignment. Direct acquirers, in my opinion, have always had probably the higher success rates because we have a little bit better time of controlling the outcome when we're the end buyer, right, for that vehicle. But no, we're here to purchase the vehicle. The offer that we're putting on the vehicle is not a guesstimate. It's as best as as the customer enters the correct information. Our AI does its job, which it does a phenomenal job. It produces a real offer, so that by the time we arrive at the driveway, we call them our car concierges, which really are the star of the show here, that arrive at the driveway, confirm the details, pay the customer on the spot, and handle everything else, including transport. The customers really think about it like this. We always like to compare our tech. Actually, I want to quote a customer with a recent review where they basically said, you've built a time machine that has transported me into the most important 10 minutes of the transaction of a vehicle, which is signing off on the title. Here's my keys. I'll collect my check. And that's really that's what we do best. So
you got to figure out how to do that to buy a vehicle. You figure that out how to. You got the selling part down. Now, if you can figure out how to do that to buy a vehicle, then that is like the golden goose. And you'll
well,
be set.
my follow-up question would be like, so I know you drive. You drive a cheap car.
I drive.
You have all your cars are these
cheap, very cheap,
old cheap
Ford
jalopies.
Focus. I have a Geo Metro. Very proud of my Geo Metro 1995.
So the second question I have is, would you buy Nathan's car?
So I got 1995 Geo Metro. I don't know. Actually, there is quite a bit of a collector. The 3-cylinder
I don't know about
has
that,
a collector out there. Let me just tell you that.
I'm sure there is a collector. There's
the AI would go through it
somebody
and
who
be
collects toilet lids. So I'm sure they collect your car.
The AI, I think, would have a tough time. No, I'm kidding. I think for Nathan, absolutely. I primarily we have bought plenty of older vehicles. We actually bought a 1962 Chrysler Imperial about 2 weeks ago.
Boat, baby. That's the boat. I know what that is, man.
So we do go way back. Typically with our platform right now, we are 2004 and newer. Just because I think that there's vehicles out there that I think belong in other places. And so I think we suit the majority of customers that have a vehicle from 2004 to really 2023. But we have gone older. We will go older. I think we always one of the things that we pride ourselves in doing is that even though we're ultra competitive, like we want to buy every single car on the planet, we do know what our limitations are. Okay, in terms of what we will buy and what makes sense for us. In terms of the economics per unit. Where we will guide customers to other good partners of ours that specialize more in that type of stuff to create a great experience. It's funny, we've actually purchased a few customers' vehicles that were referrals because we sent them somewhere else with a friend of theirs that had a vehicle that didn't fit the bill quite for WhipFlip necessarily. So
last thing that we have before we go, so I appreciate this. You're only available in certain states, right? So what states are you available in? And the last thing before you go, when are you going to be in Washington State? Those are my, let us get a rundown. Question? Yep.
Well, the fun, I think, is just beginning for us. We started out in one state was really the kind of Delaware. It's where I'm from. It's where we kind of beta tested this thing in late 2020. And now we're proud to say that we're touching in whole or in part 10 states, pretty much into the Midwest, Ohio, a little bit of Indiana, all the way out down the Northeast, Southeast, somewhat in the Southeast, North Carolina, South Carolina. And so we're kind of moving a little bit more westerly, a little bit more south as well as we go. As for Washington, I tell you what, we bought a vehicle out of Washington virtually, funny enough. If I may kind of talk about how we made that happen. I think for whatever reason.
Sure, you got 1 minute. 1 minute. Yep, go quick.
Customer found us, somehow got an offer, somehow booked an appointment in the early days. And I looked at it, man, these trees are a lot different in the background than what we see out in Delaware. But we were able to accommodate the customer. So I would say, yeah, at some point we will definitely be on the West Coast. We are eyeing some markets out there. And I tell you what, if your customer wants to sell a car, send us some messages. Where should we be? Where's the demand at? How can we help you?
All right, there you go. That directly from the founder and creator of all this. Roger, how can people get in touch with you if they need to get and learn a little bit more about you?
Yeah, simply put, www.whipflip.com. Send in a query if you're not looking to sell a car. We have great marketing department that'll respond, provide any other information that you need. But if you're a customer looking to sell your car and end the absolute hassle that's always been, whipflip.com, 3 steps, less than 5 minutes, your car's sold. We stand behind it.
Thank you very much, Roger. Thank you for being our guest.
Go downstairs.
What's that?
I'm going to sell your car when we go downstairs.
Yeah, okay. All right. Well, now we appreciate that interview. But now let's get ready for our technology fail of the week.
We are out of time. Congratulations. You're a failure.
Oh, I failed. Did I?
Yes.
Did I?
Yes.
Did I?
Yes.
All right. This week's technology fail comes to us from Brazil. Brazil is seizing a device called the Flipper Zero as shipments are being used and labeled as criminal devices.
Really?
Flipper
I
Zero.
wonder why.
This is a Kickstarter campaign that we talked about a while back.
This is one that you bought.
I bought. Okay, well, the Brazil National Telecommunication Agency is seizing the incoming Flipper Zero purchases due to its alleged use in criminal activity, with the purchaser stating that the government agency has rejected all attempts to certify the equipment. Flipper Zero is a portable, multifunction cybersecurity tool that also allows penetration testing, hacking enthusiasts to tinker with a wide range of hardware by supporting RFID emulation, digital access key cloning, radio communication, NFC infrared cloning, Bluetooth scrambling, and more. Flipper Zero has gained a reputation from users who showcase its hacking capabilities on social media to perform illegal activities such as unlocking cars, changing gas pump prices, intercepting and storing remote control signals, opening garage doors, and more. The Flipper Zero is a hobbyist's true toy.
All right, so is Brazil intercepting international mail?
Yes. Because they get made. Because I have one of these devices.
Yeah.
And I used it in a restaurant to turn off a bunch of TVs, didn't I?
Yes, you did.
Okay, Mr. Gourdet was there, so just to prove that this unit is amazing. You can program it to do amazing things, but you have to program it. You can do this with any other device too. So you got to just program it and have to understand the workings of this device. It's just kind of like a mini computer or a mini Raspberry Pi, essentially, is what it is, with an LCD screen. Specifically geared for hacking.
Let's just pretend like I want one.
Okay.
And I go online and where would I buy it?
You buy it at Amazon.com right now.
I buy it at Amazon.
200
and if it ships through Brazil?
No. So it ships immediately from Japan. Japan manufactures them.
Okay.
And it comes on over the States.
So
with nothing on it.
Brazil is intercepting all these devices that are going into Brazil.
The Brazil community, the hacking community, and the cybersecurity community are all up in arms. So this tool
I'm sure
is
they
great.
Are. Yeah, they should probably call their own customer service lines.
So this is a great tool to actually prevent some of those things from happening by understanding the underlying technologies built on this device itself. That's what a hobbyist would do, and without them allowing them to come on in because they're scared of what these devices can do, they are putting their country really behind the eight ball.
I think that's entirely, accurate. Because why would you really need something where you could walk into a bar and turn off all the TVs? What's the point of doing that other than to say you can and annoy all the people inside the
Well,
bar?
it's interesting because it grabs the RFID and it then translates it and has it available and knows what device that is. So it actually creates the logic of having that RFID.
Right. And then there's the darker aspect where, you have credit cards that have RFID chips.
Yep.
And can you capture RFID chip numbers from that?
I don't know about that.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if you could do that. I would expect you could do that with the right programming of this device. But that is no different than if I sit down with my computer and have a program running on that and doing it also. The thing about this is it's portable. And then it has an LCD screen and that you can kind of customize.
I think it's nice to know that Brazil is being like, yeah, we're not gonna let this into our country.
That's right.
Hey, U.S., maybe you should take it.
They can still buy them on Amazon. We looked at them last night. There's a couple available.
Yes.
One thing you can't do is you cannot travel with it because the security.
No, you can travel with it.
The CTAC
you just can't travel and use it.
That's right. All right. Okay. Not that I know that, but
yeah, not that you know that.
Florida trip. All right, we are going to now move to Mike's mesmerizing moment.
This is Mike's mesmerizing moment, presented by Story Coffee. Visit storycoffee.com.
Excited you got your Story Coffee in the deal. That's ready for
we're doing our pick of the day already.
We gave Odie a little bit too much whiskey. She's excited about the pick of the day. She already had her mic down, ready to go and everything. All right.
Kidding.
So Apple added refurbished iPhone 13 models to its online store this week.
Who cares?
Well, it's a big deal.
Why is this a big deal?
Would you purchase a used technology item like a phone instead of purchasing something new?
Not really.
Not really. Okay, I think we're different. That's why I asked you.
Yeah, I know you're into buying. I
bought an Alienware laptop off.
Yeah. I mean, it depends on what it is and what I'm doing with it. If I need to go and replace my gaming computer,
yep,
I'm going to buy a new one.
Okay.
If I need a phone for, whatever,
yep,
I may consider buying a used one. But why? I'm going to pay a lot of money for it, and I don't know that it's. I've had a lot of refurbished items that have been sent to me that I have bought that just don't work.
Okay.
So,
that's fair.
So
you say no.
Just say no.
So this is the very first iPhone that I have currently right now is the very first new one I've ever purchased. Every single iPhone I purchased is a refurbished version.
Why did you buy a new one?
Because there was a sale that was going on. It
was
almost the same price.
It hits your top little things for
that's right.
Nathan's cheapo
cost value.
Acquiring.
Right. All right, we're gonna skip the Nathan Nugget. So if you want to know anything about SVB, you can sign up online to our Tech Timers group. That's the Silicon Valley Bank and why it went under and why Nathan is so upset with it because people were investing in a cryptocurrency and were creating a fake value for fake cryptocurrency and then taking loans out on it. If you want to hear my rant, join us on our Facebook group, Tech Timers.
I think you should rant right
and
now.
I will go off on that quite a bit. I don't have 45 minutes just to do that. All right, let's go to our pick of the day.
And now our pick of the day for our whiskey tastings.
I'm getting this like deja vu.
Let's see what bubbles to the top.
All right, this is the Kilburn Irish Whiskey 90 proof, $21.99. This is mash bill 100% malted barley, $21.99. Irish whiskey blends, wines and more exclusive. What do you think of this?
I'm gonna give this a thumbs up. The taste is really good. There's absolutely no burn. It's very smooth.
Just think of putting this in with some Coke and some root beer.
This would be a really good Irish coffee.
Yep.
Additive.
Yep. All right. So is that a strong thumbs up?
That's a strong thumbs up. Okay. I really enjoyed this.
Odie, what did you think?
I'd give it a double thumbs up.
A double thumbs up.
Yeah, I really liked it.
You really liked it?
I'm not into the whole what is it? The rye burn.
You don't like the rye burn?
No.
Okay.
But this didn't have any of that. It was nice and smooth. I was able to just shoot it back. And I liked it.
I will also.
We already knew that.
I give this a thumbs up. Well, you don't always know that what we got going on, but that's okay. I'm glad we got that.
I don't know if I'd call it the water of life, but
I think it's pretty close though. It is pretty
really
close.
Good.
All right, Odie, how many minutes we got left? We got 1 minute.
We got 1 minute.
So
Why don't you want to rant on?
I'm gonna
you
go.
Want to rant on
don't play the Nathan Nugget.
SVB stuff.
You don't have to play the Nathan Nugget. this is essentially what I want to say. If you're investing into a bank that decides to have major corporations that it backs that are cryptocurrency companies, take, for instance, the company called Circle, a company that issued stable coins as a linchpin in crypto trading, and you back that, and then you give them loans for their cryptocurrency, which means that it had no value, and you assess a value of it to $5, $10, $15, and that's what you establish as a company, then essentially I can print anything I want and make up any idea and say that it's worth value, because that is essentially what happened to Circle. If you invested in the Silicon Valley Bank, I feel sorry for you. But if you're the administrators of
So what are you
Silicon
saying?
Valley
If
Bank,
you invested in SVB, you
if
lost
you are
money.
if you were in charge of the bank, no mercy for you.
Is this like an FTX thing?
I'd almost say it's even worse, but yeah, it's pretty close. Well, that's for all of us here at Tech Time. We were excited to have you as a part of our show. Remember, the science of tomorrow starts with the technology of the day. See you next week.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for joining us on Tech Time Radio. We hope that you had a chance to have that moment today in technology. The fun doesn't stop there. We recommend that you go to techtimeradio.com and join our fan list for the most important aspect of staying connected and winning some really great monthly prizes. We also have a few other ways to stay connected, including subscribing to our podcast on any podcast service, from Apple to Google and everything in between. We're also on YouTube, so check us out on youtube.com/techtimeradio, all one word. We hope you enjoyed the show as much as we did making it for you. From all of us at Tech Time Radio, remember, Mumm's the word. Have a safe and fantastic week.